I have a question about self-love, self-kindness,
Yeah,
self-compassion.
right.
It's like along the path, you kind of discover things about yourself that you're like,
Oh,
shit.
right.
And I feel like I'm in a space where it's kind of difficult because if I bring too much self-love and compassion, then I will not do anything about that I saw. Kinda, I don't know if it makes sense.
Yes.
And so, and I don't actually know how to. I know the idea of how it should look like, but I don't know actually to be compassionate with myself. So if you could talk about this.
You are compassionate in yourself, in your true nature. Why? Because we are connected with everything. The person we are thinking we are is a construct. There is that sense of I, that most familiar sense that we are touching when we say I. But then we grow up in this world and we are being told, be like this, be like that. And there we learn to be like this and be like that and identify with that. And forget that prior to that, there is that sense of presence, which is never absent, it's there. And in that identification, then immediately there is the me and the others. There is that wall, that sense of separation. Inside that's me, outside it's the whole rest. And if we never question that, then we just, once that is set in place, and somebody has built up that me personality, and if we don't question it, then one goes through the whole life and repeats the same stories over and over. It just turns around and around and around. From the moment we wake up till we go to sleep, it's just me, I, me, mine, and the other. It goes around. And then, when you start to question that, when you start to have an honest, good look at yourself, then of course sometimes the roof may come down on your head, because then as long as we are thinking of ourselves as a person, then we like to imagine a good person and have all kinds of wonderful ideas. And once we look really honestly what's going on, then it's not so fun most of the time. And then how to love that fellow, how to be compassionate with that fellow. You need not somehow try to develop some artificial love for that habit. That person is not what you are. It's just a habit, and sometimes it's a bad habit. See the habit as what it is, a habit. And then you can accept, okay, I have been brought up and conditioned in that way, and so it's understandable that there are certain ways of dysfunctional behavior that creates tensions for me and for the others. But seeing it, still, you can intend that you want to detach from it. It may not go from one day to another, because habits are their own force, or have their own momentum. And you may decide, oh, next time situation like this comes, I'm not going to react like this. Then the situation comes and puff, there we go. And there you can have compassion with yourself. Okay, Don't dare start the whole barrage of of reprimanding yourself and telling how bad you are, and in spite of all my intentions, in spite of all my spiritual practice, and say, okay, got me again, so what? The habit is still there, so then you renew the intent. There are aspects which simply I would like to detach from, that they don't bother me anymore. And you come back to be as good as you can yourself. And see, the person is not what you are, it's just the role you are playing in this theater of this world. So play your role, like a good actor. Deep down, the actor always knows, I'm not that fellow. May play with a lot of energy and laugh and cry and do a lot of things, but deep down always knows, the curtain goes down, the fellow is gone, I'm still here. This person is like the role in a theater. So, and you can have compassion in the sense that when you see certain traits, all right, after all, it's not surprising when you know the story, when you know the past, all the stuff that has happened, that you have developed certain ways of reacting to situations because you thought you defend yourself, you protect yourself. But once you become aware, hey, this person is not what I am cannot be hurt, then this kind of strategic mechanisms are not more necessary. No more need to defend yourself, no more need to protect yourself. So it's not that you have to somehow develop some artificial feeling, oh, I have so much compassion with myself. I love myself. Oh, I'm after all a good person. Learn to love yourself. Actually, you do love yourself. You love that most first. Simply we are not quite aware of it. But learn to direct that love really back to yourself. Come back to that sense of presence. You don't need any compassion for that. But then, as you see with other persons, when you are not in reaction, when you can accept them the way they are, then you can also have compassion even if you don't like the way they behave. That doesn't mean you have to approve what they are doing, but you can understand, okay, seeing the context, how they came to the present situation, it's very understandable that they are functioning in a certain way. And the same thing you can do with your person. Not think, I'm bad, how can I still react like this? And if we don't try to suppress the thoughts and the feelings, if you really just relax and open up and honestly look, then we are in for a big surprise. What kind of thoughts, what kind of emotions we really can have. How aggressive, how destructive this comes, then don't fight against it. Okay, it's there. You watch it, you see it, and if you watch it and see it, then it's losing its power to be destructive after, to manifest destructive more and more. Out of habit, it may pull us again and again into it, but then you see, okay, got me again, but again, I'm intending to detach more from it. And seeing, observing, it's losing its power. Those things have become so strong because we have been repeating them unconsciously over and over and over and over, and each time the habit became stronger and had more momentum, And each time you see it, even if it gets you, but you see what's going on, it's not getting stronger, it's getting weaker. Even if it doesn't feel like that. But the very fact that you see what's going on and you don't specially like it is not strengthening that old habit. Whether you are conscious or not conscious, that makes all the difference. When you're alert, when you see the mechanisms, then gradually they're losing its power. And then they cannot more be overwhelming. And let's say a situation comes and we react again in a way that we decided we don't want to react. But then after some time we become aware. What is usually happening is that, say, somebody gets insulted. Then there is a lot of anger, but then the situation is long gone, but there you still sit there. How can the fellow dare to say like this? And we hold on to that anger and repeat it and recreate the whole thing over and over and over. Actually, the moment of anger was not really the draining part, but after that brooding over it, that is really eating up our life force. Thinking it over and over and over, how this bastard and how can we being in those emotions. And there, eventually, you become aware, there, situation is gone, I have reacted, but I'm still holding on to emotions. And there you will be capable of saying, hey, come on, let it go. Relax. See. And even if the emotion wants to come back, then okay, let it come back, don't fight it, but at the same time be conscious. Be in the present. See what it is doing to your experience right now. Watch what it is doing to your body. Watch what it is doing to you energetically. And learn to relax. Like that you are detaching. And if you do that, then slowly, when such situations, even if it gets you again and again, slowly you catch yourself earlier and earlier, and then you don't waste all that energy by brooding over it, but okay, it has happened, so what? Instead of judging yourself, how bad you are that you're still reacting. Okay, happened, so what? It's already gone, it's already the past, it's not more real, it's only a memory. We simply give it a false reality because we energetically are hooked into it and hold on to it. It's not real, it's just a memory. There's only one point where you ever touching reality. That is now. There is such a totally different category of experience right now. Right now, there is that bubbling beauty of life. Right now, it's real. All else is in the mind. The moment before, it's a memory. But then we hold on to it and we make it alive and give it a reality that it doesn't deserve, positive or negative. And especially if we did things that we don't like, then we keep on and judging ourselves. And there you can immediately stop when you see, okay, happened, so what? But now it's now. And you see the emotions, you see how they're manifesting, you learn to relax. If you do that, consequently, gradually, you're getting closer and closer to the moment itself, and eventually you will be capable, when the situation is there, you see it coming, and then you have the freedom to decide whether you want to react, and consciously react. Consciously bang on the table and say no, no, no. Or whether you just let it come, the feeling, let it pass like a puff of air that doesn't leave a trace. So self-love and self-compassion doesn't mean that you have to somehow artificially develop some funny feelings about yourself. Just learn to accept, I can see why I'm functioning like this. But then not like a victim, like then people tell me, I cannot do anything, that's how I am. No, we can. If there are traits that we don't like, if there are traits that are destructive, we don't have to sit there and be a victim of it and say, I cannot do anything because my father was like this and my mother was like this and the society did that to me. Yes, they did. They may have done their false things. They may have done things that make us all tense. But after that, we are repeating the things and doing it to ourselves, and that we can stop. It's not that we are a victim and say, I can't do anything because of this and this happened in my childhood, that's how it is, and I cannot do anything. No, it's wrong. Okay, that has created a difficulty, and I can face that difficulty. And facing that difficulty means to honestly look at it, and instead of making everybody else responsible and the whole universe, have a good look at ourselves and see what I'm doing to myself and see I'm creating my own suffering. And I don't need to do that anymore. And for that, I have to stop judging them and stop judging me as a person and see, okay, that mechanism is there, and I learn to see it, and I learn to detach from it, learn to relax, and gradually it's gone, and it's just a story.